moment that you knew you wanted to be a conductor?
I didn't know it. It was, people was telling me, you're a conductor, you play like a conductor. I remember once that I was accompanying singers in a competition, and in the jury was Renata Scotto. And she came to me and she told me, I think you're a conductor. So, and I wasn't moving the arms. It was the way I was playing. So, for many years, people was telling me that. So, it became natural to me. And like I told you, when I was rehearsing with musicians, I would, express or do this sound like that. So all these were already conducting gestures.
That's neat. What do you think are some of the skills or qualities needed to be a good conductor?
You have to love, I think, to make music with people. Because it's so different to be a conductor than being a soloist, a violinist or a pianist, that they practice and practice hours and hours in a room alone. And, to be a conductor, I think, you have to love make music with people and to communicate and to explain the vision of a piece, of a masterpiece, your interpretation, what you think the composer. It's also kind of like trying to be or to conserve, the truth there is in a score, and try to preserve it, So, I don't know, in certain ways, kind of like like a priest. It does the same with, either with the Bible, with other, sacred book that you read it and you try to transmit, It's the same thing. I don't know. We study so many hours in home and think about and how to phrase certain sections and certain motifs, certain themes, which kind of colors to give, or you have in your mind, or what you think that the composer would have wanted to do.
Right.
So there is a lot of thinking, there is a lot of struggling in the process at the same time. But, you have to love it. You have to love what you are doing. I think this is the best thing I can do. Because for me it's not a job. For me it's not a profession even. For me it's just my life. So I can do what I love with people.
What's the hardest part about it?
The hardest part, I think, is probably to deal with the non-musical part of the business. This I hate.
What do you mean, the musical part?
Administrations,
Okay.
Why? Because, when you reduce things to numbers and to sell tickets, and it's hard for us musicians,
right.
To balance what to do, what I'm supposed to program in order to sell more tickets. This is the thing that is the part that I don't like. But at the same time, of course, you have to give people also what they like.
Right.
So we have to find a balance.
Right.
But that part probably is the most difficult. Ideally, I would like to be home, study the great masterpieces, and then just go to an orchestra, choose whatever I like to conduct, and just do it. But it's not, of course, always like that. At least not now.
Right.
So that's the part that I don't like that much.
Right.
I love being with the people who supports the organization. It is different because I think that we need this contact.
Right.
Otherwise, after all this applause, after all this, people clapping and cheering and braving, and then you come here to the loneliness of the dressing room, and of course you need people to come to greet you because you have done something, you have offered something, and you're also waiting for this feedback. This is something that I like because at the end is another language, is communicating with sounds, but communicating.
What would be like your dream concert to conduct? Like what pieces or what composers?
Well, that's really difficult. I don't have an answer.
Oh, okay.
I don't have an answer now. I think, the best concert when you have, an orchestra in which all, one of every of the musicians, they are engaged and committed and giving 150% in rehearsals and in concert. Regardless the music, I think this is the most important thing, because if you are, when you give and you don't have, the response, and the other way around, sometimes orchestra, they give so much and they have conductors that probably they don't give so much. I think the dream concert would be that one, that moment. It's very rare that, not always happens, not every day. That moment, the day that everyone is like connected, there's good energy, the public, you feel the energy coming, from the hall, and then it's magic. But this happens really, really, really very randomly, very, very rarely.
Do you have a favorite composer?
I have many favorite composers. I love Mozart, I love Puccini, I love Beethoven, I love Tchaikovsky, I love Brahms.
Oh my God.
I try to make my favorite composer the one I'm conducting at the moment.
Okay.
I have to fall in love with not only with the composer but with the piece, because it's very difficult. And we used to do it, and I've done it many times, and I will do it. Many times you have to conduct pieces that probably are not, the closest to your heart.
Right.
And then you feel that something is not working. Probably it's like, like getting married. I mean, if you are not with the, with the partner that you are, madly in love with, I think it works. It works. I mean, you can survive, but it's not, a marriage, you would say. The same thing with conducting and pieces that you like or composers that you love. You have to make an effort to like it. Then if there is something that, there is not this connection with the piece, of course, I mean, something happens that people don't get, this magic.
Right. What do you do during the off season?
Well, I don't have off-season because
Okay.
when we're off-season here, I'm in Europe conducting, or
Okay.
in the summer in different places. Now I'm
Okay.
going to Brazil,
Oh, okay.
then I'm going to Armenia, and afterwards I'm going to Cincinnati, and then to Spain,
Okay.
and then to Peru. So
Okay.
I'm really
You're year-round.
year-round season.
Well, what do you enjoy doing in your free time outside conducting, outside music?
Nothing,
Nothing?
just silence. Silence. I mean, I think it's so important, silence, because the material that I'm working with is sound. The whole day with sounds. So when I have my time and I'm alone, I just like, I try not to listen to music. Just, a beautiful landscape and just silence. I think that then, I can appreciate even more, the way of making, of producing sound. So I would say not much. I don't have hobbies. I mean, this is my
No
hobby.
other
This is what nothing else. I mean, that's what I'm doing my whole life. What I love. So I don't have, other than that, my family, of course. I spending time with my daughters, with my wife, with my family, my parents when I can. But if I am alone and I can, just silence is the best gift.
How old are your daughters?
3 years old and 2 years old.
3 and 2. Cool. What do you love about living in Palm Beach?
Island beaches are a very quiet city. I've lived in here. Now I live down south in Miami.
Okay.
And it's another kind of city.
Okay. You're
Very
in
noisy
Miami?
city.
Okay.
I loved very much when I was here in Palm Beach because it's so quiet. And that's the thing that I love the most of this city. And, but I travel so much that, but Palm Beach for me, you know, I have a lot of memories because that was my debut in America was here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I met my wife in here at this theater because
Oh,
she
really?
used to sing in the chorus of Palm Beach Opera.
Okay.
You know, and we lived here 5 years, so I have a lot of memories in Palm Beach.
That's great. Those were all the questions I had. Do you feel like there's anything we need to talk about? Anything readers should know about the orchestra or
No, I
you?
think we have said
Okay.
a lot of
I
things.
think we did.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.